For thousands of years, food carried spiritual weight. In ancient Israel, dietary laws weren't just about nutrition. They defined identity. One clear rule stood firm: don't eat pork. It was considered unclean. But when we turn to the New Testament, everything changes. Enter Jesus, teacher, law fulfiller, boundary breaker. His life and words challenge long-held traditions and invite us to see purity not as a matter of food, but of the heart. Today, we'll travel from the heart of Moses' law to the depths of Jesus' teaching, from Peter's radical vision to Paul's letters on spiritual freedom. What Jesus really said about eating pork isn't just about a food, it's about faith, conviction, community, and the breakthrough love of God. Stick with me until the end. You may never look at bacon the same way again. Number 1, the foundations. Why pork was off limits. Let's go back. God rescues Israel from Egypt, then delivers laws at Sinai. Not just spiritual rules, but daily ones. Among them, what you could eat. Leviticus 11:7-8 says, "The pig is unclean because, although it has a split hoof, it doesn't chew the cud." That was no suggestion. It was a direct command from God. Reinforced in Deuteronomy 14:8, Israelites were limited to animals that both chew cud and have split hooves: cows, sheep, goats, pigs, shellfish, even sneaky scavenger birds were all off limits. This was kosher, a word meaning fit or proper. Why such strict rules? 2 key reasons: spiritual identity and holiness. God set Israel apart as holy. Leviticus 11:44-45. Their food customs acted like a badge. They didn't fit in with pagan neighbors who celebrated pork and shellfish without guilt. Cultural and spiritual separation. Many forbidden foods, like pork, were linked to pagan rituals. By avoiding them, Israel guarded against idolatry. Exodus 34:15. Eating pork wasn't just about dinner, it was a statement of allegiance. Yahweh or everyone else. Yes, there might have been practical health benefits. Undercooked pork could carry disease. But at root, these laws pointed to something deeper, a call to holiness, identity, and purity. Number 2, Jesus' radical reorientation. Fast forward. Jesus appears, challenging traditions and shifting focus. One moment that stands out is his meeting with Pharisees in Mark 7. Not over pork, but hand-washing rituals. The Pharisees accused Jesus' disciples of unwashed hands, which violated their traditions of ritual purity. Jesus responds with stunning clarity. It's not external that defiles you, but what comes from within. In Mark 7:14-15, he says, "Nothing outside a person can defile them. It's what comes out of them that defiles them." Then comes the key verse, Mark 7:18-19. Don't you see that nothing that enters a person from the outside can defile them? And against it? Mark even adds in his own voice, "Thus he declared all foods clean." But here's the nuance. Jesus wasn't teaching a lesson on pork. He was flipping the script from ritual purity to moral purity, exposing how the Pharisees' obsession with hygiene hid moral and spiritual decay. That jump in logic, diet to heart, changed everything. But Jesus also acknowledged the value of the law. He said in Matthew 5:17, "I did not come to abolish the law or the prophets, but to fulfill them." So while he showed that spiritual purity comes from within, he didn't cancel the law. He revealed its purpose and pointed to its fulfillment. Number 3, Peter's vision. more than just about food. Fast forward a decade to Acts 10. Simon Peter, whose faith was shaped by Jewish law, has a vision, a sheet filled with clean and unclean animals, lowered from heaven. A voice tells him, "Kill and eat." Peter initially resists, but it happens 3 times. The message seems clear. Eat what God has made clean. And yet, context matters. Immediately after, Peter meets Cornelius, a Gentile. When Peter steps into his house, he says, "You know it is unlawful for a Jew to associate with or visit a Gentile. But God has shown me that I should not call any person impure or unclean." This lateral move from animals to people is vital. The vision wasn't about pork. It was about breaking down walls between Jews and Gentiles, showing all nations can be welcomed through Christ. Later, Peter still struggled. He couldn't immediately treat Gentiles as equals. See Galatians 2:11-14. The vision was clearer in hindsight. This was about humanity and inclusion, not diet. Number 4, Paul's letters. Freedom, but with love. Enter Paul, the apostle to the Gentiles. He won't mince words. Under Christ, nothing is unclean in itself. Romans 14:14. Trust in Jesus, not in food rules. Still, he's careful. But if someone regards something as unclean, then for that person, it is unclean. It is better not to eat meat. That causes someone else to stumble. Romans 14:20-21. Freedom is gift, but so is love. Paul encourages believers to prioritize unity over appetite, respecting each other's convictions. In 1 Timothy 4:3-5, he warns against those imposing man-made dietary rules as spiritual superiority. Instead, he frames food as a gift, thanks to God, and it is good. In Acts 15, at the Jerusalem Council, the early church decides Gentiles don't need to adopt the full Jewish law. Instead, they suggest a few guidelines that avoid idolatry. No meat sacrificed to idols, no blood, no strangled animals. But no blanket rules on pork or shellfish. This was pastoral, not legalistic. Number 5. What it all means for us today. Let's bring this home. What does all this mean for modern Christians? Here are 3 big truths. Diet doesn't determine spirituality. Jesus taught that Jesus' care comes from within, what we say and think, not from what we eat. True purity is moral and spiritual, not ritualistic. Freedom comes with responsibility. Enjoy that pork chop, if it doesn't violate your conscience. But if it causes another believer to doubt, maybe don't. Freedom isn't meant to elevate us. It's meant to serve on behalf of others. Love is the guiding principle. Whether you choose to eat pork or abstain, if you do it with humility and love, you're walking the path Jesus laid out. Respect others' journeys, pray for differences, and build unity, not division. Conclusion. So, did Jesus really allow pork? The quick answer, yes, but it's not about bacon. It's about Jesus shifting our understanding of purity from external rules to internal transformation. What he proclaimed, Peter tested with a vision, and Paul fleshed out in letters. Food doesn't define us, faith and love do. Generations ago, pork symbolized separation. In Christ, all those walls fell. But this freedom is not permission for division. It's a call to love, gentleness, and unity. Ask yourself, is my eating rooted in conviction or tradition? Am I sensitive to others' convictions? Do I honor God with thanksgiving, humility, and love? What's your experience? Do you choose to eat or abstain from pork, as a spiritual choice? Share your story in the comments below. If this video blessed you, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And if someone in your life has been wrestling with this, share the video. Jesus didn't come to weigh us down with rules. He came to set us free. Free to eat, free to love, free to grow, and free to live in a transformed heart.